All I'm nuts. After I got this beat up real good, I thought I had my camera on and I didn't. So let me tell you what I put in here. I put 2 eggs, large, one at a time, and I beat it up. Then I put 1 teaspoon of hot water out of my sink in here, and I beat that up. So now we're ready for our dry ingredients. Okay, to these wet ingredients, we're going to add 1.5 cups of all-purpose white lily. 1.5 cups in there. And I've already got it measured out right here. But this right here, I put something else in it that you're supposed to put. And what I put was this. I put 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of salt and mixed it up real good in there, okay? And we're going to put it in here with 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So let's get started with that. I'm going to beat this up a little bit and then I'll put that vanilla in it. You know, when you've got a cookie, you want to use, usually most recipes call for all-purpose flour. Okay, when you get that beat up, we're going to add our vanilla. And then we're going to fold in the other parts. Okay? This makes a lot of cookies. So get you a big gallon jug and maybe even paint you a picture on the front. And put your cookies in there. Or maybe you've got a really beautiful cookie jar you can put them in. And people can just come by and grab them a cookie. Okay, let's put a teaspoon of vanilla in. This is some homemade vanilla. I'm going to close it up real good. I have been known to knock something over and lose half of my vanilla. And I don't want to do that. I know this is long for y'all, and you probably don't want to stay on here this long, but I can't help it. I'm going as fast as I can. Let me get some of that off. All right, now the rest of it, you just fold in. That's it with the mixer. Thank the Lord. All right. Now we're going to mix our dry ingredients in here. I mean, our last of our ingredients. And they are your old-fashioned oats. Now, these aren't the steel kind. They're big. They're called old-fashioned oats, okay? And I have in here, let me see how many I measured out. 2 cups. I could have looked, but I wanted to make sure. All right, sprinkle those around in there. We're going to fold those in. This makes a fabulous cookie. I'm telling you, a fabulous cookie. You're going to love it. It's called chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. All right, now then, we are going to add our chocolate chips. And what I bought is this one. You're supposed to have 12 ounces of chocolate chips. And I bought these, which are the semi-sweet. That's kind of how I like it. And you use the whole bag. And fold that in. Y'all, I'm telling you, with some black coffee, oh my word. Your guests are going to love these. Look what a big thing of batter. Okay. Now then, the last ingredient is the pecans. And I love pecans, so we're going to put that in there. I'll just use this measuring cup. It's pretty clean. All right, my pecans are already, they're already cut up. But if yours aren't, if yours are whole, then you need to chop them a little bit. Don't get them too fine, okay? All right, I think it calls for 1.5 cups. I'll look. I keep mine in the freezer, y'all. Let me see how many it says. Pecans, where are you? 1.5 cups. All right, let's see what that is. I need another handful. Okay, 1.5 cups of pecans, and that's it. Let me read this over to you because I want you to make these, y'all. They're so good. Let me read it to you. And we are going to roll these in little balls. And, well, not roll them in balls. We're going to get a little teaspoon out and then push it off with another teaspoon in a greased cookie sheet. And look, somebody sent me, a follower did, a sweet follower, sent me 2 of these. Aren't they pretty? They got sides to them. And I'm going to make my cookies in it today. All right, here we go. 1 1/2 cups of all-purpose white lily flour, sifted. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Now, that's the one in the big, this. You people that don't cook, it's that. 1 teaspoon of salt. 1 cup of solid shortening. And if you come on here and you ask me, can you use butter or can you use this or you use that? I don't know. I just use solid shortening. 3/4 cup of granulated sugar. 3/4 cup of brown sugar. 2 large eggs. 1 teaspoon of hot water. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. 1 1/2 cups of chopped pecans. 1 12-ounce package of chocolate chips. 2 cups of old-fashioned oatmeal. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Slightly grease your cookie sheet, which I've already done. Sift your flour, baking soda, and salt together in a bowl. Beat shortening with a mixer at medium speed until fluffy. Then add your sugars, beating well. Beat in the eggs and the teaspoon of hot water. Add the flour mixture and sugar mixture, tossing or beating, you can do it that way if you want to, until combined. Add your vanilla. Fold in your chocolate chips and your oats and drop by the tablespoon in a large baking dish. Cook at 350 from 10 to 12 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get me a little scoop and I'm going to do these on my cookie sheet. And we'll eat one after a while. I'm going to stir that in, mix that in good. You really don't want to do this part with your mixer because it tears up your chocolate. And how do I know? Because I did it one time. It's like I had chocolate cookies. That's a lot of batter, y'all. Look at that. You're going to make a bunch of cookies today. All right, so here's what I do. Let me do another little bit here. Okay. And what I do is this. I get 2 teaspoons is what I do. But it said tablespoon, but I do by heaping, so it's the same thing. Just get you a teaspoon to do it with, or a tablespoon. You may have a little scoop that you do it with. I just do mine like that. And then I just put it down. Like that. Like that. I don't know how many this will make. We'll count them. I'll count them for you just to see, okay? I'm hoping I can get, I better just do it like this to start with and see how much they spread out. We're going to do these on 350 degrees. And won't they be good? We're going to pop them in that oven. Get you out some good cold milk in a tin cup. Like Grandma used to have. And fix you these up way before Christmas. So you can be eating on them. If there's something in it you don't like, I don't know if it'll work, but you could take it out of it. If there's something in the cookie that you think, I don't want that, well, don't put it in there. Invent you a new recipe. All right, I'm gonna put a dozen on here, but this probably gonna make about 5 dozen. I mean, it's gonna make a jar full. All right. I'm going to pop these in the oven. And they'll spread out. And they will be so good. And you can kind of judge on your first one to whether to cook it 8 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever. I think it's according on how big it is. Which mine aren't very big. Okay. All right. Let's pop it in the oven. Okay, our second pan of cookies are done. What I do is this. I scoop under it like that and put it over here to cool. Then I'm going to put it in my jar. I got out this cookie sheet because the other one, I used it. And then I had these that don't have a side. And I went ahead and made these. Y'all, it's going to have, this is 40 that I've already made. 40 chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. And so I think that we're going to have about 40 more from looking at the batter over there. So I'm thinking close to 80, somewhere between 80 and 100 of these it's going to make. And just spread them out like that. Let them cool. I got some more in there. And this is how much batter I've got left. Look at that. See, I've got that much left yet. Let me show you the jar I'm going to put it in. Let those cool right there. Here's the jar. Let me get the top to it. I've had this for a long time. George and I found this at an antique shop. Oh my goodness, years and years ago. It says something toasted. Fresh and toasted or something. I don't really know what this jar is. If y'all could tell me, I'd love it. It's got a knot on the bottom, so you can't sit it down straight. It wobbles. So I found this at another antique shop. It's just one of those brown things. And so what I did is I set it on this. And that little hole, that little bump fits down in that little hole. Where there's a wheel, there's a way, y'all. And here's a cookie that I have put in here. I'll get a little one to show you. There it is. And after these cooled, I put them in here. I always put a paper towel in the bottom of mine. And the reason I do is it collects moisture. And if it collects moisture, your cookie won't get soggy. All right, now here's the top of it. I don't even know if this is the top it went to, but I think it is. The new Spanish peanuts. The new Spanish peanuts. And it's called Chicos. Chicos? Isn't it pretty? I love old jars like this. And they can, you put your things in it and it just makes it wonderful. Have a great day. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Okay, y'all, I finished my last batch. I thought I never would get through because this recipe makes a whole bunch of chocolate chip oatmeal cookies. And I've got this many left over here. that I just had. I cooled them, and I'm going to put them in my jug. And then, folks, you can just come and grab them one and eat it. Where's my top? The top is so cute on it. Well, where's my top, y'all? What to do with it? Here it is. Little kids can come and do this. And this is metal, so it's safe. Let's taste it. I need a glass of cold milk. So good. I'm going to put them on my buffet in there with everything else. Come in, let me show you what I got. Let me get you out of your stand and turn you around. I like to keep things on my buffet during Christmas for people to just grab something. And right here we have some chocolate candy that was sent to me from Canada and some other little goodies in there. Right here I had made a big jug of tea cakes, but they're almost gone now. Right here I've got my peanut brittle that I made. Let's see what's in here. Fruit cake cookies, not many of those left. I think we ate most of them. Here's some nuts. And then this was sent to me. It's a bread that we're going, it says you cook it, vasha. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But anyway, you cook this and you dip it in this, and we hadn't done that yet. And here's some dried apples, in case you want a dried apple. Here's some pecans in a jar. And then these were made and sent to me. We got those, and of course we've got our pound cake. And it's cool, so I'm going to go ahead and put the top on it so we can have that. And some candy canes. So now we've got our buffet ready, except for those big cookies. And I want you to look at what a mess my kitchen is. Look at this. And I am going to have to clean it all up. But that's okay. I took my garbage out. At least I did that. Have a wonderful afternoon, and make you some oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. I told you what page they were on and what book they were in. I'm telling you, my cookbooks have the best recipes in it. They are so good. If you've got all three of them, honey, you're blessed. And I've got all three of them, and I've got my coffee table book too, and I'm proud of that. Love y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.